Hey, I'm Supergoat, and this is a Metera guide in Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising for beginners by a beginner. There aren't many guides for Metera out there, and the ones I've found are by really advanced players, and they're excellent if you have the skills, but if you don't, I just don't find them that useful because they tend to do things like just tell you, hey, go do this massive combo that we're not going to tell you how to do, and it's a huge chain combo. This is all about people who need to face other players in the lower ranks. I'm currently B3, but I rose up from C5, and it's for you because you're going to be facing other lousy players. So here are my tips for how to play Metera. Now, I think Metera is actually a very good character for beginners to play because you have to focus on the fundamentals. She doesn't have any gimmicks that you can fall back on. Also, her different skill sets are very compartmentalized. So as you'll see, when you're zoning, you're using her ranged abilities. When you're close up, you're using her normals. And the two really don't mix up all that much, except at the medium range, but we'll get to that. So let's start with the basics of her abilities. I'm only going to spend a few moments here in the training room, and then all of the other background video is going to be from my real matches, so let's get started here. We'll start with her normals. Now, her medium is excellent. It's got good range, and it can be used as an anti-air, kinda. Her light is long range, and it's a low, very good for getting out of a corner. And then her normal auto combo, just medium, 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 just like that. Easy to do. Now I'm going to spice it up and put in a ranged special. That does extra damage, but part of playing Metera is to add the fear of close-up combat in your opponents. So this one's really easy to do. It's medium, 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 raging strike, medium, 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 and then special attack. Now you can start the combo right from in front of the enemy. You don't have to jump in the way I did in the training section. Here I am jumping in. And this is really crucial. It's really important because Metera is a zoner. You need to strike that fear of up-close combat into your opponents because if they know that they can just get right up in your face and destroy you every time, they're going to do that. So if you show them you can do an extended combo for some serious damage, then they're going to hesitate a little at close range. Now, sometimes the combo fails. It has to do with the range you're at. It's unfortunate. Just recover and go back to zoning. So let's talk about zoning for a bit. Of course, Metera is primarily a zoner, and normally I actually don't like playing zoners because they feel kind of cheesy in most fighting games, but there are so many ways to skip neutral in this game that I feel okay about it, and I'm really enjoying playing Metera. So you can see when this guy's up close, he feels very confident in attacking me, but he doesn't feel confident in keeping that attack pressed. In fact, look at him. He's actually doing nothing. He's waiting for me to make the move, but he doesn't really have a way in. Even though he's got a fireball, he knows at this point in the match that I beat him on the fireball war. All right, so Sora's pure melee. He's got no ranged attacks at all. I accidentally do anti-air there that I shouldn't have done. So he gets up close, but once I get him at a distance, you can see he's just afraid to get in. Remember, this is lower ranks. Sora's actually has a very strong full screen armored attack. It skips neutral and goes through fireballs. This guy doesn't know it exists, so I'm just going to zone him until he dies. And you can do this too. It's low ranks, so again, this is a video for the low ranks. You're not going to get that kind of play in the upper ranks. Alright, so Yuel, she's all on top of me, block a bit, but again, you can see I've already scared her into not being confident in her melee because I've done a combo probably at this point. She's afraid to get too close and press the attack too hard, so she's letting me zone her out. And I'm keeping it a little bit this medium range, mixing it up so she doesn't know what to expect, and she just doesn't know how to get in. And I'm just going to keep pelting her until she goes down. Now in this case, I think on this one, yes. So this one's going to be a butterfly kill. Use those butterflies when you're zoning. Just throw them out when you have a chance. Also, I should mention, use the easy inputs. Don't try to use the quarter circle when you're doing these fireballs. The 10% damage is not that important. Notice how many of my fireballs just get blocked and don't do any damage at all. You're going to need to keep the consistency. The consistency is key in applying pressure when you're zoning. So don't worry about a 10% damage loss. What's really important here is that you keep that pressure on consistently. Make sure to mix in the heavies and vary the speed of your fireballs so that your opponents don't learn a pattern of timing and just exploit it by dodging. Now, Namaya is actually a bit of a tricky one because she's got a pretty darn good fireball herself. It's a laser, hit scan, instant attack, but I'm keeping the pressure so high that you can't even do the startup frames on it. As Metera, I often find myself stuck in a corner, so I'm going to spend some time talking about how to get out of the corner. And your two choices are fight or escape. Now, in this case, I fought back, but I got greedy. Again, Metera has very limited normals pressure, melee pressure, so I attacked too much. He was able to counter, but fortunately, I was able to counter back. Here again, I'm going to wait out his attacks and then throw a couple mediums when he's at range. Here, I'm using the low to get those unblocked low attacks in and get some good hits in. Now, I haven't talked about Metera's special ability, and that is her either jump or slide, and in this case, I'm using it to slide out. So, if those opponents jump while you're in the corner, go ahead and slide right out from under them. And you can also use it to double jump. Now, this being the lower ranks, you're also going to have people jump in on you a lot. So when you're anti-airs, you've got your normals, but you also have the special. Now you see, the only problem with special is they can jump through it at certain ranges. So your better bet is to use your normal. And remember that you've got two versions of that. This one, which is the longer range, and then the one that's right on top of you, that's holding down and back. And that's especially important versus Lancelot. Will try to do that move. Punish him every single time. It's so easy. You'll already be in the blocking down block position. But you can see there, you don't want to use it unless they're really on top of you, the way Lancelot was. Now your other choice for anti-air is your Skybound Art. It's effectively a DP. It's good for both anti-air and also just reaction. And on hit confirm, you can see I saw her jump in, immediately went into it. It's a little bit risky because it's hard to get it off with the timing, but especially if you see them jumping in, it can be really useful. Honestly, I'm not 100% sold on it because I think your meter is better spent on your ultimate specials. I think that they're more valuable, plus you get a refund of 25 every time you hit. So if you're at 100 meter, you can get 6 ultimate special arrows off of that, whereas you only get the one Skybound Art here. That'll do it for this video. I hope it helps. I ran through things really fast, but I wanted to keep it moving and not too boring. If you want any extra details on anything, let me know, and I can make some follow-up videos. Thanks, and good luck out there with Metera.